All right, we are live, and we're rushing today.
We have been running, I guess he has all day, and then, which in turn made me kind of rush. So we're about 1 minute late, so we apologize for that. But we're here now, and it turned cooler here. So
it did.
Yeah, so it's gonna go down in the 40s tonight. Close to, lower, almost 30s. So really going to be cool tonight. So we're a little bit, he's still in short sleeve shirt. I don't know what's up with that.
I've been running all day anyway.
Yeah, he's been running. I said, "Do you sure you don't want a jacket?" And he said, "No, I don't need a jacket." And I said, "Okay, well, whatever." But we do have the campfire going. Trying
to get the chat up here.
Yeah. So we are doing good.
It's one of those days that
it started it early and it doesn't end, right?
Yeah, it's well, that's the wrong thing. There we go. How you doing, Joe? good to hear from you today.
Yep.
Making sure the audio is good. So it is. So but yeah, we're I'm still working full time, and it's a chow, and it's not only is it full time, it's on call, and it's a pain in the behind, and it's so anyway, we barely made it. Missed one thing today, but I'm here, so we'll get something to drink.
Yeah, he may be eating and drinking because he hadn't. I don't know what did you eat anything today?
I did get one slice of cheap pizza at the gas station.
Okay, so that's all you ate today.
It was delicious too.
Yeah. Gas station pizza's pretty good sometimes.
Yeah, on call. And we're not only are we on call, we're on call 24/7. And it is, I don't know. At first I thought the money was worth it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you it's not.
No.
And I've been on call for years, but I'm tired of it.
Yeah, so our fire's not doing too good, probably because it poured rain here last night, and
I think we need a little more fuel on it.
I don't know what we need to do with it. We don't need to blow it up or nothing.
Usually I start it a little ahead of time, but
yeah,
but
didn't have time.
No.
You just got home 15 after 7, so he's just been running. And so we did have some good news today, but we can't tell all of it. We did find out.
Oh, that's right. Is Mom on it yet?
Yeah, I don't know, but we can't say yet because.
Oh, I was gonna say it.
No, we can't. We can't say yet.
We'll say Saturday, I guess.
Okay, so we did find out what our grandchild is going to be, whether boy or girl.
And it is one of those.
It is, yeah. So, yeah, it is one of those.
I was disappointed. Were you?
No, I'm not disappointed. I'm excited.
That ought to give you a hint.
I'm excited. You better not be disappointed. I just want the baby to be healthy.
I do too.
Yeah, I don't care, boy or girl, it doesn't matter. It's just exciting to me to finally have a grandchild, and I'm just really excited about it. So
I'm gonna pour a little more fuel on there while you're talking.
What?
I'm gonna put a little more.
Well, do we need to back up?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Well, don't burn the camera down. He's
talking.
He's actually using diesel fuel, not gas, to pour on this fire, and I'm wondering if I need to maybe back away, just a little bit.
I think the wood was wet or something.
Well, I don't know. Did you get some of those pine shavings and throw them on there?
No.
They're right there in the door if you want to get them. So I should have got some lighter fluid, I guess, when we were there, or when I was there earlier getting the wood, because I did wind up having to go get the firewood. And I guess we've said before, we have all this land, but we don't have any firewood stacked up. And maybe that's something we need to work on, like make a shed, and stack wood under it to burn. Eventually we want to have our cabin in the back, and we want to have a wood burning heater in it. So maybe we need to just get started on that now. So you sure smoked that up. So now there's smoke everywhere.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Here's the fire.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, maybe
Sorry, we seem a little unprepared because
we are
tonight,
unprepared,
but
and we
we're getting there.
apologize.
But I did have something that that was on my mind from the last time we talked, was things that like your grandparents passed down, or things you wish they would have passed down.
Yeah. So
because we were talking about things that you've gotten from your grandparents, and
Joe said something interesting on the chat when we were talking about
chat up?
Yeah, no. When we were talking about the chickens the other day, and Joe said that he dips his baby chickens' beaks in buttermilk because his grandmother always did. So I've never heard of that, but I don't know, what would be, Joe, do you know why that she did that, or what? I mean, does she think it just made them healthy?
I wonder if it gave them some vitamins, or
Maybe
gave them,
so. Maybe so.
kind of healthy.
Yeah, maybe so. But I thought that was very interesting because my grandpa, we had chickens when I was little, but I didn't, I've never heard of him. I don't guess he did that I know of.
Wow, this is a bad place to sit, right next to the camera.
Yeah, well, you'll be okay.
Let's get that. It's a bad angle.
Did you feel like you were like on display there?
Well, I just felt like it showed my obvious need of losing weight.
So I think that's interesting. I mean, there's things that I can think of, multiple things that I wish that they would have passed on. Like, okay, for example, at Christmas time, my grandma made this cake. And I know you're sick of hearing about the cake, but she made this cake, and when I get to heaven, I want the cake. It was a coconut orange cake, but she made the cake from scratch. It was not a mix. She made the cake, the actual cake part, from scratch. She used coconut, a real coconut that they grated, and real oranges, and everything in it was just real. It wasn't a prepackaged anything. And that was the most delicious cake like ever. So she did make that, at every Christmas. Our light went out. So, I wish that she would have passed that recipe on down to me, or that I knew the recipe.
So you don't know none of your family's got that recipe?
No, she just came up with it on her own. There was lots of things. I mean, grandmas just did that. They could cook, and they came up with stuff on their own.
So did she have, I'm trying to think, what about fried chicken? Did she cook good fried chicken?
She did, but my sister cooks the best fried chicken. She did, and we would have fried chicken, but it was, it was the home chickens that we killed at home, and I don't know if we even bought any chicken. I mean, I remember them buying like hamburger meat and that kind of stuff, but a lot of times we just eat the chickens that we had here.
Yeah.
If we wanted fried chicken, ate fish, a lot. But that's one thing. The light's going on and off.
Yeah, the batteries are just not too
okay. But that's one thing that I wish that she would have passed down to me.
Well, one of my grandmothers, my dad's, my stepdad's, and my biological dad's mother, they both made really good biscuits. And
they just did. Everything was from scratch.
Yeah.
I mean, like my grandma made these yeast rolls. Like they probably could have been sold in a restaurant or something, but they were so good. The yeast rolls, the orange cake. The yeast rolls was all the time, but the orange cake was at Christmas, and maybe that's why it was so good, just because she only made it once or twice a year, really, mostly at Christmas. So it really was good.
Yeah. Now, I'm not into pecan pies, but my grandmother, when my dad got killed in a wreck when I was young, and she made pecan pies.
Yeah.
And he loved them, but she never made another one after that.
After he passed away.
But they said she was, said it was, said it was good. But yeah, Joe said all grandparents made good biscuits. They
yes,
did.
yes, they
There's
did.
this guy at our church. He's got to be 80. He's got some secret biscuit recipe that he will not give anybody.
And the biscuits are delicious.
Yeah.
Like, they're great.
Yeah.
One secret I know to making like good biscuits is you use buttermilk to make good biscuits.
Well, he said, is it the flour? It's got to be a certain kind of flour for him.
Is that what he said?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
I've never made a biscuit from scratch.
well, I know because you don't cook, but some men do.
I cook outdoors.
Yeah, some men enjoy cooking, but yes, he doesn't cook a whole lot. He'll cook, the shrimp and stuff outside, but or fry some fish or something.
Now, your grandfather, as we've said before, he fried good catfish.
His catfish, I don't know what he did. He put something in there to kind of flavor them up a little bit when he cooked catfish. And maybe my sister knows, I don't know, but he put some kind of flavor in there on those catfish, and they were mighty good.
Yeah.
So they had a special flavor to them.
Now, one thing I wish that they would have passed down, and I don't know if my grandparents, I'm trying to think, did they do any canning while I was still, I know they had at some point, I'm sure, but
yeah.
I don't remember my grandparents doing any canning. Maybe
my
mother's mother, she might have, but they
didn't. My grandparents didn't can a whole lot of things. They had a big freezer. It's at least when I was little, and they would put everything down in the freezer. They used it mostly, for garden food and stuff. They would put, they would freeze everything from the garden that you could think of. Even the hard stuff that's, kind of hard to freeze, like tomatoes.
Yeah. They wouldn't freeze tomatoes, would they?
You cook them down a little bit and cut them up and cook them down a little bit, and they would use those tomatoes in recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
But, there's nothing like a fresh tomato. There's no way that you can have a frozen fresh tomato. But he would cook the tomatoes down a little bit.
Joe said my grandmother canned a lot, but honestly, I was too young to learn how to do that. My dad kind of showed me the ropes when I got into all that. Yeah, I'm trying to think. One of my grandmothers, I remember when she married my step grandfather, he had a gorgeous garden.
Yeah.
And he they
put a lot of stuff in the freezer too, didn't they? Though?
Oh, they had several freezers. They had the one, they had a whole cow in it, and literally, he raised cattle. He had about probably 12 cows.
Cattle.
And he would, he raised his cows, and then he would take one a year to the stockyard, I think, and then he would. He had a freezer full of meat, and then they had the freezer full, I think they had about 3 freezers of
garden stuff.
They had like one or two of the garden stuff, so
Now that's one thing that we never had growing up was the meat, and like you remember them having the meat, but we didn't. It was all the garden stuff, and there were some days, especially in the summertime where we didn't, we wouldn't eat a meat. We just eat like vegetables and stuff, and not have a meat, which we still do that now sometimes. I'll just fix vegetables instead of and not have a meat. You don't always have to have a meat.
Yeah, Joe said, I've been canning for years now. Never had to buy that first jar. Wow. Got hundreds from his grandparents in the shed when he started. Now that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I do wish that the other thing I wish was that really I would have went around with like your grandfather and my grandfather, and I mean they all gardened, and I wish I would have took notes.
Yeah,
But,
like write it down.
I
Like,
mean,
what do you do for this, and what do you do for that?
I remember, all these homesteading courses and stuff.
Yeah.
They knew it,
Yeah.
and we're all learning. But I just wish that because I remember when I had my first garden, he showed me some stuff to do, and I still do some of that. But,
Yeah.
But I wish I would have really, paid more attention. Which I paid attention, but I wish I'd have asked a lot more questions, because
Yeah.
I think I only did it 1 or 2 years, and then we got into other stuff, and we not until the last probably 10 years did we focus on the garden.
Yeah.
Or even, I don't know, not even 10 years.
Yeah,
But,
I don't know if it's even 10 years.
Yeah.
Just since we moved up here, which has been about 6.
Because I grew up in the city, we didn't have a garden.
Yeah.
We actually, Daddy would plant some stuff.
Yeah, like a tomato or something.
Yeah.
Which you didn't like, but that's okay.
But he would, I think we would have stuff, but I mean, we really didn't stay at home a lot. We were in the summer, we were one of our grandparents all
That's
the time.
true.
So
Yeah.
I was around it a lot,
Yeah.
but
you didn't. Your family, like your mom, didn't plant
I don't know.
anything.
They just had such great gardens.
Skills.
We all wish things like that when we age and get into things. Yeah, I do. Looking back, and I know that's, like you say, that's pretty well. Everybody.
Yeah.
But.
And let's see. I don't know. There's things I'm sure there's multiple things that I wish that I would have learned, or or even just been more appreciative about. Well, my grandma, she had to know what was going on. She had to know.
That's one thing you don't want to inherit from.
She had to know what was going on all the time, where you were going, what you were doing. And it was, we grew up, here on this land, and it was just me and my sister and my mom. And I guess a lot of it was that, she just worried about us, make sure that we were okay, because we kind of lived, over there by ourselves, and
where are you going?
yeah, where are you going?
Tina.
And she put an ER.
Yeah,
put
it was
an ER
an R on
our
everything.
everybody's name. If you could put an ER on the end of your name, you was Tina, Tasher.
That's how it is in the South.
Yes, it is. But we had an ER on the end of our name when she called our name. It did have an ER on it, and I was reading something or looking something up the other day. Oh, it may have been like a little devotion that I was reading, and it was talking about people in the South and how down here you're called honey, or okay honey, okay baby, all right, bless your heart. And it really is true. I mean, it is so true. If you go to the store and you talk to somebody, you're like, oh, I don't know, thank you, sweetie, thank you. And I do it myself, and that's just the way we grew up. You just called people sweetie or babe or whatever. It's just it really is a Southern thing.
Sorry, our light went out. It was
Yeah,
dark,
so it is a little dark.
We'll wing it tonight.
Yeah, we will.
But here, we'll turn that on. Maybe that'll get us a little.
Yeah, that'll give us a little light.
But yeah, I remember one of my grandmothers. She called everybody hon.
Yeah, hey hon.
Yeah.
And you were everybody was hun, and you were part of the family. That's your Mama Etheridge.
Right.
She was
loved
everybody.
Technically my step grandmother, but I never thought of her as a step. The whole
Yeah.
family is just, real family.
Yes, they are.
And
So even, I mean, if you're an in-law, you was part of the family, there. And she called you hun, and, just I guess, one thing is, it's just the hospitality of grandparents back then. And in a way, I think people are losing that in some ways. You know, not everybody is like that anymore. You know, the hospitality or calling people hun or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of it, but some people have lost that. You know, down here, just the southern.
Well, you're going to be a grandparent. Have you lost it?
No,
Are you
haven't.
going to get nicer?
I might.
You got to get nicer.
So.
She's got to go to obedience school.
Well, I'll never be obedient. That's for sure. I don't know how to be obedient. So, yeah.
And you know, one thing I wish, like one of mine, you know, they never borrowed a dime.
I know,
and,
right?
I don't know about your grandparents. Now, one of mine did, but
I
the
think
others
the
never,
only thing
never
that
borrowed anything.
they would borrow for was like to pay for a car or something.
One
like
of mine wouldn't even do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe they would borrow money to, you know, buy a car or whatever, to do a note on a car, but.
And they were a lot more cautious about finances that a lot of us have.
We've lost that.
You know, they would never eat out every day, definitely. But they, you know, they were coming out of, like we've mentioned this several times, they were coming out of the Great Depression when they were born, and they knew how to grow up with nothing.
Right. And, to make something,
you know, that's
out of
another
nothing.
thing. They would stretch. They didn't waste anything. They didn't leave a light on. They didn't, there was no food wasted.
No, it wasn't. You know, when we had scraps or whatever, they went to the dogs. You know, you didn't have these fancy dogs that we have now where you buy them a whole bunch of dog food and stuff. They ate scraps.
Yeah, a dog was a dog back then.
Yeah, they were. They ate the food scraps. They really did. And my grandma, like, she believed in giving the dogs some grease. Every now and then she'd feed them some grease, and she'd say it was good for them. It cleaned them out.
I remember people doing that.
Yes.
I've never done that. But.
Yeah, we had never done that. But yeah, she would feed the dog just grease, and she'd say, "Okay, just clean them out and make them feel better. They need some grease every now and then."
But like all of our grandparents and everybody from that age that I know were so frugal.
Yes.
You know, they were just.
Yes, they were.
They were. If they had what we had then, just imagine. I mean, if everything was managed like they managed it, it would be, we'd be in a lot different shape.
Yeah, we'd be millionaires if we managed like they did.
Yeah, but I remember they did not waste anything. You know, I mean, you know, that's one thing that's lost. I couldn't imagine them being at work and having that, what do you call that thing where they deliver the food?
We can't never think of that name.
Not Uber
because
Eats. It's
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
It's DoorDash.
I could not imagine them paying to have DoorDash bring some food.
I couldn't either. I could not either.
I couldn't imagine them even going out to eat during lunch, you know, because they brought their lunch.
Yeah.
Which I have before, but you know, when you're moving, DoorDash. But you know, I just couldn't. I mean, they wouldn't have. You know, they'd have fixed a brown paper bag and.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah.
You know, there's so much we should have done like them.
Yep.
And we've gotten so spoiled today.
So I hope that we're able to, you know, teach this grandchild some of that frugal stuff growing up on the land. I can't wait till it gets here. Especially, I'll be so excited when it gets about 2, you know, when it can run around and
let's
do
get it
some
past
things.
the diaper stages.
Yeah.
Those are not fun years to me. I mean, I don't know if that sounds bad, but that's just...
The diaper stages?
Yeah.
Well, no, because you don't like changing diapers.
Yeah.
You never have. You know, we laugh about it, but it really bothers him, you know, the smells of babies, you know, that you have to do to change the diapers and stuff. You know, he used to, if he had the kids, he took them outside to change their diaper or something, or put them in the doorway. So he had a hard time with that.
Joe mentioned I couldn't imagine them getting something from a vending machine. They always took a lunchbox or bag with a sandwich in it. That's so true.
And it is so true.
That's like, and they wouldn't stop by a convenience store either to get something. You might stop there to get gas, but you weren't going to go in and get anything. But yeah, I remember they all. I'm thinking about all my grandfathers. When they worked, I remember their little. Both of them had a black lunchbox.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my step grandfather, he had he was an engineer for a train, one of the railroads.
It's getting a little chilly
But I
out here.
do remember he would have his bag, but I think he would take a lunchbox, and then another grandfather would take a lunchbox. You need me to put some more fuel on it?
I don't know. It's a little cold. I don't think your wood's doing too good tonight.
I didn't get the wood. You got the wood.
Well, so it's my fault, I guess, that it's not good.
You probably got the wood that got wet.
Well, it was locked up, and I had to like carry it by myself and stuff, and I wasn't going to be choosy. So, yeah, it was what it was. So.
And I bet he could have got a good fire going. But now one thing, one of my grandfathers, I remember this was a recent, like last 20 years. They do this thing on Christmas where they, the whole neighborhood, it's not like a neighborhood as you know, it's like a redneck neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, the houses are nice, but they're all spread out. And everybody drives, like decorates and puts all this stuff up, and people have these fires.
Yeah.
And I remember roasting hot dogs on the fire, but our hot dogs always tasted like gas. Because he would.
That's your Papa Etheridge.
Yeah.
See, he would put gas on it. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
you remember when we'd go Christmas, before Christmas when all the decorations were out, you couldn't hardly roast hot dogs.
Because he put all the gas in it.
It was gas, not diesel, but gas. I don't know what he.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was hot dog smelling like gas.
Oh dear.
That's not healthy.
No, that's not healthy at all.
That's why when we roast hot dogs or something, I use lighter fluid.
Yeah, yeah. So, speaking of the fire and your grandparents passing stuff down, one thing I wish that I knew how to do, and we've kind of mentioned it before, is, Papa would do the fish over the fire. That's one thing that I wish that he would have.
We could try that.
We could try that. We have to have one of those big iron pots, though. And you know what happened to the pot? My sister has that big pot that my grandpa used to cook the fish in. It's a big iron pot, and it would hang over the fire. She's actually got plants in it. She planted she has plants planted in her in that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But yeah, it has to be a big black pot to go over the top of the fire. It has to be a black pot. Yeah, it has to be a big black cast iron pot to go over the fire.
Can you buy those still?
I don't know. I mean, I know you can buy cast iron skillets, but I don't know if you can buy those
that cost a fortune
to go over a fire like that anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure you can.
I've seen people. You probably have to order them.
Cast iron skillet and grate of some sort will work too.
Yeah.
Just have to let the fire burn down. Yeah, let the fire burn down and get you some coals. And pretty good. We'll have to try that.
I think we should try that.
It's getting to where in a couple months we can get some fish and cook them.
And we were going to get some fish food, but now it's turned cold again, so they probably they're sluggish again.
Our fish are pigs. They like to eat.
Even in the winter?
He said guarantee you can buy those pots in an antique store. Yeah, we ought to try that.
You know what? That's true. In a flea market or something. Go try that.
And that's like, we have this big reunion. It's a reunion of people we have no idea who they are sometimes. I mean, it's like huge, and it's been passed on. And I think I've mentioned this on the live stream before, but they cook some mulligan stew that is just the best mulligan stew. I know you don't eat it, do you?
No, I don't.
But it's in one of them witch pots.
Yeah, they have one of those witch pots.
It is. And I don't think it would be as good if it were in some stainless steel pot.
And I wonder how long they've been using that big witch pot that they have there. That's probably been around for years.
I don't know. That pot may not be quite as old as you think, but it's a big, one of those big pots. Yeah, let me.
Is it a cast iron pot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. One of those would probably cost an arm and a leg nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is.
I think you're gonna have to put some like diesel on there or something. I don't know what you need to do.
We got some good coals. It'd be good to cook on.
Yeah. So tomorrow night we are having hamburgers and hot dogs. Scott's mom and dad are coming over to find out about the baby, what if it's a boy or a girl. And so we're kind of
gender reveal party where we have to pretend we didn't know.
Yes, but she knows that we know. She just wanted to wait till she could like be here with us to find out. So we are cooking some hamburgers, and I think we got some hot dogs. We're gonna put those on the grill though, and grill them. Didn't you say that you're gonna use their grill and grill the hamburgers? So that'd be fun.
Good old charcoal grill.
Yes. There's nothing like a charcoal grill, nothing like a fire to cook anything on. You know, it just gives something a really good taste. I mean, I think that's why, you know, we like going out to eat to the steak house sometimes, and you know, they have that really good fire going, and they put those steaks on that good fire.
This is not like one of the fancy steak houses in
No,
New York.
it's not.
This is a
backwoods
country
place.
Small family runs it, and you know, it's actually, the steak place is in what used to be old gas station.
Yeah, and they've redone it.
And also the fish camp that's right up the road was an old gas station. And yeah, they redid it, and several owners have been there. I think these are probably doing okay. They seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, but those steaks are good.
They are good, and they actually choose a really good cut of meat. You know, there's some steaks that's
not good, yeah.
Hit and miss, but they actually do get a good cut of meat. The only thing better than a charcoal grill is fireplace cooking.
Yeah.
Something that's been smoked in the smoker. I smoke several chickens throughout the year, and there's no better chicken. I agree. I have not gotten into smoking. I would like to learn to do that. I'll cook on the grill and boil shrimp and stuff, but I would love to learn to do that.
Like get a smoker?
Yeah.
You know, we had a neighbor at our old neighborhood that used to smoke some stuff. Remember?
Yeah, he did.
He had a smoker, and I think he brought us some stuff one time out of his smoker, and he enjoyed cooking on that.
Somebody at church that smoked some stuff, and I would love to learn that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will at some point. But yeah, I love a good smoked chicken.
Yeah, that sounds
smoked
good.
on the grill.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I don't think I've had one that's, you know.
You know, it's been a while since. I mean, maybe at a fundraiser or something. I've had one where it was, you know, smoked like that, but not, you know, not lately. It's been a long time since I've had a
That's
smoked
the best chicken is a smoked one.
Yeah. It has a good taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you put in there to smoke it with, Joe? What do you use to season it? I'd love to know. And I mean, you could put it in the oven and bake them and, you know, stuff, but it's just not the same as a smoked one.
No, it's not. It's not. The fancy baked chickens just are not the same.
No, they're not.
They're, you know, let me put a little more on there.
I think you need this. Where's the thing?
What's the thing?
The rake or something to poke it.
I don't know.
It's over there. Well, no. I don't know where it is. It's missing.
Well, we got a lot of coals down there. It's just not flaming. I mean, it'd be perfect to cook on.
Oh, there we go.
It's just not a staying warm fire.
No, it's not, and it's a little cold. I told you you'd need your jacket.
But the coals are looking pretty good. Watch out.
Don't.
I don't want to burn you live on camera.
I hope
here.
not. That would be pretty bad if I burned alive on camera.
Yeah, you'd have proof.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Seasoning isn't really a thing. You can just put some on if you want to, but smoking is all about the wood type.
Okay.
And he usually uses hickory,
Okay.
but we'll use apple some. Yeah, I've heard of using some apple too.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's about the wood. I don't know that I'd want it seasoned too much, just that flavor.
Talking about our barbecue that we go to where we have the pig barbecue, they put those pigs on a fire pit and cook them like, all night, all day.
Yeah.
And they use different types of wood sometimes to cook those on. And
I believe they use pecan.
They use pecan. I know a few times.
And hickory, I think.
And hickory, but I know a few times they, they found a pecan tree.
Yeah.
And they use that. And to me, I don't know. It kind of tastes better if it's a pecan.
Yeah, because it dates back to, they've now got a pit that's made of brick.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was little, they actually dug a hole and put like
the pigs in there,
rebar across it or some metal across it, and then we were, there's one guy he's real experienced in cooking them, and he would tell us when to put the coals. Well, we would bring the shovels of the coals over,
and
we weren't allowed to put them. He put them right in the right places.
Okay, and y'all wasn't allowed to. Y'all just had to bring.
No, we just handed him the shovel
of coals.
And of coals, yeah, we'd go back to the fire because the fire was, on a few feet away.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And we would have a line of us, and he would put them out where he wanted to, and he did a good job. I don't, he knew what he was doing, but it was, it is always good, and that's what makes the mulligan stew so good. Is the pig, and then no telling what. Probably whatever you don't see on the table on the pig is in the mulligan stew.
Probably so.
Whether you like it or not.
Or something.
He said down south, I guess, pecan pretty popular to use.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. Do we have the pecan trees up front, but I don't think we have any in the back, do we?
No, I don't think so. There's three
pecan
trees up there, and we have a small hickory tree that's growing, and then one up on top of the hill where we want to, close to where we want to put our eventual cabin.
Yeah.
There's a hickory tree that's pretty big back there.
Yeah.
But this little hickory tree, I noticed in the front yard, there is all kinds of, it's growing some hickory nuts. Like if we wanted to get those and eat them, we could. It takes a something to pick all those hickory nuts out because it's just not like a pecan. It's hard to pick them out. But we could probably pick them out if we wanted to. But I noticed there's just stuff all over the ground from those hickory nuts.
Wow, Joe said his wooded areas are full of hickory and oak. That's cool. Ours are full of pine mostly.
Yeah. There's some hardwoods.
Yeah, there's very
pine.
few hardwoods. Ours are mostly pines.
And there's there's smaller trees, like hardwood trees that hadn't gotten big yet. It just takes longer for a hardwood tree to grow than it does.
There may be some way in the back, some hardwoods, but it's mostly pines. I guess too far north for pecan. Yeah, there are pecans. One of the tower sites down in Dothan, Alabama, is an old TV station place. It looks pitiful now, but
it has a pecan tree.
They have in the front yard. It's a huge front yard. It's an abandoned building, but it has pecan trees
everywhere
lined up there. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of pecan, and they still produce.
Now the thing about a pecan tree is they have this sap that comes out of the pecan trees, and it's like black. And if you park under those trees, it'll get all over your car, and it's hard to get off. It's like black sap.
Yeah.
And it'll ruin your car if you park under it, all the time. But it does have, that's the one drawback about having a pecan tree in your front yard. It has the black sap on it, and if you park under it, it gets all over your car.
And our pecan trees don't have any more pecans.
No, they don't. They're old.
You think it's 100 years old?
Yeah, I think that pecan tree up there is 100 years old.
Wow.
So, because I know it was here when my grandparents first moved here, and that was in the 40s, and it was here then because there was a...
Was it, big then?
Well, it wasn't small because
Have you seen it in pictures?
Yeah, there's a picture of it because a big wind came through or big something, and it tore the top out of it. That's how come the top of that is torn out. And but it grew from there. Like, it's just like a part of the top of it blew out, and it's just got the limbs that grew from that.
How long ago was that? Was that when they were?
Yeah, well, like the 40s.
Okay.
So it's got, this is, it was obviously there before they moved there, so it's got to be 100 years old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is old, but there's no pecans on it. There's a pecan tree at the very front, isn't it?
At the road.
And it doesn't have any pecans, does it?
No, it's older too. I don't think it's quite as old as that one, but it's not young.
Yeah.
And then there's maybe a younger one over there by the old chicken pen. So.
Yeah. But we don't have any of the real pretty trees. Well, now I say that, but like the hardwoods and stuff in the fall time are real pretty, but like, you see these beautiful trees up north, but ours are just boring pines.
Yeah, yeah.
But pines grow real good up here. Some people have hardwoods, a lot of hardwoods, but we don't. We have just pines.
Yeah.
And they grow so fast.
We have some cedars too, like mixed in. We have cedar trees.
Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. We have cedar trees mixed in there.
Yeah.
But
I was going to try to put a cedar tree on the sawmill and see. I think it may be messy, but
yeah.
Joe said his baby quail are going to be there tomorrow. Excited about that.
Yay.
Except we have below freezing temperatures coming. But yeah, that's going to be exciting. So.
Do you have a brooder built for them? I'm guessing to put them in.
So do you raise those like chickens, or how are they?
Well, they're flighty, so you have to have them contained. So I know that, but you do in a way. You have to feed them and stuff, but you do have to have them contained in an area. You can't just let them kind of free range or nothing. I know that much, but Joe probably knows a whole lot more. But I'm excited that you're getting the quail.
He definitely knows a whole lot more because we've never raised quail.
No, we never raised quail. I'm sure he's researched it and knows a whole lot more than we do, but I do know that. I knew that much.
Yeah.
And you do have to have
And I've seen people on YouTube that raise quail. So he says I have everything ready to go for them. Might put something temporary in a shed for those cold nights next week. Well, that's really neat. Keep us updated on that.
Yeah, so, I want to hear about the quail.
That may be something we get in at some point.
It could be.
I think our next thing we're going to get in when we get some of these projects done, like we've said before, is raising some chickens for meat.
Yeah. I want to do that.
I really am thinking that I really don't. I don't really like chicken that's in the grocery store anymore.
I know, and sometimes when I buy that chicken, it just don't taste.
It doesn't taste.
It doesn't taste as good, and I don't know why. It just seems, I don't know. It bland, I guess is the right word.
It's like it doesn't really taste, and it doesn't suit me all the time.
Yeah. I guess bland would be the word. I know you have to season chicken and stuff, but that it's just, I don't know, like the texture of it or something is not as good as what it used to be when you could buy your chicken in the store. We have to eat, but I do buy chicken, and, I usually bake chicken. I don't fry it, but I'll bake it different ways with, like I think I made some barbecue chicken the other night in the oven. I just put some barbecue sauce on it and cooked it, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's just the texture of it or something. It just doesn't have that good texture.
Joe said, I'm not sure the wife can raise them for meat. She's going to have to change her outlook about them. It might be a little rough for her. That is exactly why we haven't got pigs yet.
Yeah.
because I want to raise pigs and harvest them, but I can just see us having a whole bunch of pet pigs.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I mean, he's right. That's something that's going to have to change.
Yeah.
On the chickens now.
I know. I don't know. I'll just have to deal with it.
I mean, we got some over here that's pretty meaty that we could eat now.
We ain't eating our chicken.
See? The one, when they don't produce.
All
right, talking about your grandfather, the ones that that are finished producing, on the table.
He did put them on the table.
Yeah.
He sure did. I've got like a pretty good many over there that are not laying eggs anymore because they're too old.
Yeah.
So, he would put them on the table.
He said the way she is about chickens reminds me of how my wife is about the rabbits. The rabbits was almost a divorce. I could tell you that the rabbits would be a problem here.
It would. Not only me, but like our daughter.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine her.
Yeah.
She'd
be like, no.
She would have a problem with that.
Yes, I know, yes, she would.
But the chickens, surely we could eat a chicken.
If they're meat chickens, I'll probably be okay with.
But if you're going to have a farm with animals,
you got to do that stuff. Now, I'm not squeamish about killing something. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. Like, I have the blood and the guts and all of that stuff, I have no problem with. That does not make me sick.
Or if something gets in her chicken coop, she'll shoot it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with that part of it. It's just that I like my chickens. But as far as being squeamish about killing something, I have no problem with that.
But you're attached to them.
Yeah, I am attached to them. So that's the problem, not that I'm squeamish about blood and guts and that kind of stuff. That has never bothered me, like, ever. And I told you, and I've told you before, when we were growing up, Papa would kill the chickens. He'd chop their head off, and the chicken would flap around the yard, and we would laugh about it. It was funny. You just see a chicken flapping around the yard.
Would be so cruel these days.
Yes, that would be so cruel, and that's just not what you do nowadays. You don't chop its head off and it flap around the yard. But that's what they did back in the old days. They got an axe and chopped his head off, and it
Could you imagine if all of our grandparents had YouTube channels? I'm talking about back then. I mean, just imagine,
They'd get.
All right, we're going to see which one of these can walk the longest without a head. I mean, you think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube would have canceled them. I mean, they would be like canceled and on national news canceled.
Yes, like they'd be in jail.
Yeah, they would be.
For animal cruelty.
Because your papa told me some stories that I don't even like to repeat.
He would do bad things to cats and stuff.
But yeah, I mean, if they had a YouTube channel, there needs to be a separate YouTube for that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I mean, really, he would.
What did he would tie the cat's tails together and put them over a clothesline, y'all.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
That was cruel. Because we have cats that we really love.
Yes, I know, that was very cruel.
Couldn't do that to my cat because he doesn't have a tail.
That's true. That's very true.
but yeah,
that's the inside cat. Missile.
He was. Yeah, I could just see that YouTube channel. I mean.
Look, today we're going to learn how to chop a chicken's head off, and he would have it flapping.
He'd put a GoPro on the chicken.
That's terrible.
Joe said, seriously, I haven't bought a chicken from the store in over 10 years. and we eat chicken at least 3 times a week. And that's what I think. If we start raising our own chickens, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with the chickens that we get from these big factories.
I think it is too, and I can do it. You know, I can do it if we have meat chickens. I just won't pick them up and hold them and talk to them like I do my other chickens. It'll be okay.
And I think that, I mean, not gonna get on my soapbox again, but I think a lot of this stuff is the reason a lot of people stay sick.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but I think a lot of that is what they put in the foods. Money saving, and importantly, to Joe, is drug and hormone free.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, like I said, you know, I don't I try to feed the chicken food that I feed my chickens. I don't give them any medicated food or anything like that.
Then they would be good to eat.
Yeah, they probably would.
Well, let's eat them.
Yeah. No, I'm not eating my pet ones. We'll have to get meat ones.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, my 4 new ones are doing pretty good now.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Yeah.
We're not going to allow her to go to Tractor Supply by herself while they have chickens. I'm surprised you didn't get anything else. And you're talking about getting.
They had some turkeys.
Our daughter's boyfriend is raising. What is he raising?
He has pheasants. And he has the tsunami, or whatever you say them. They're the black chickens, like pure black, like everything's black about them. And they have a couple of them. And when they get they're building a new pen for them, so they're going to separate them, so they can start selling the eggs from them. So he's going to give me some eggs, or not give them to me. I'm going to pay for them, and I'm going to hatch some.
He should give them to you for us allowing him to date our daughter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Joe said, don't stay in the car again. I'm not. I learned that lesson. I will not do that. And
I'm not going to get any more.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yeah. I know one thing I'm never getting again is that's ducks. That's just
why?
Those are messy. The ducks are messy.
They're funny though.
They are funny. They are
Thunderstorm coming up. They're just having a great time. They party all night. Do they go into roost at night?
Well, they don't go roost, but they go in the old chicken pen where the fence is, and I don't know what we're going to do with them when we move the fence, because
we need a little safe place for them.
Well, I'm thinking that I'm gonna, when we move the fence down here, I'm gonna move their little shelter down here, and then I'll just let them out during the day, and then they can go in there. I think that's probably what we're gonna have to do, because they'll be really confused, you know, when we move all of that stuff.
Yeah. So
hopefully we can work on that in the next few weeks and get that fence moved. So I'm excited about that.
Joe, yeah, that's right, Joe. He should give them to you, because that's what family does. I agree. And just build them a duck house and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
we probably do need to build them a little duck house.
But our ducks are not normal, because they won't go in the pond. You know, they're not. No, they think they're chickens. They really do.
I think it's because they weren't raised down there. You know, they weren't raised in the pond.
Yeah, maybe so. They're
scared of my catfish.
They probably are. Your catfish is huge. Probably scared of them. So.
Yeah, I don't think they would take down a big duck like that, but who knows? They're really too big. But,
yeah.
But you got me hungry. I want some catfish.
Yeah, I want some catfish.
Something like that.
Sounds good. Well, even, you know, the catfish, you know, we have the catfish, the fish camp here, which they sell other stuff other than fish, but even the fish from there, I don't know, it just don't taste as good.
Well, it's because it's the Cisco fish.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it's Mississippi raised, I'm sure, but
I mean, maybe I don't know where he gets his fish from.
I don't either. But It just doesn't taste as good as it used to.
Joe said if I were them, I wouldn't go in the pond with all those turtles either.
Yeah,
we
that's
gotta
true.
get rid of some of those turtles.
Yeah. Nah.
But talking about, I don't think hardly any food in a restaurant tastes good. Or I mean, some of the steakhouse tastes good, but it just ain't like it used to be.
No, it's not. Now the steakhouse is really good. That's the best steaks that I've had anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, is the ones
Now
that are there.
there's a restaurant that I would love to go to. I'm trying to think. I think it's down Louisiana. It's all you can eat buffet. They have oysters on the buffet.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would love to go to that. I think it's down Louisiana, but they actually have oysters on the buffet. Joe says he's hoping to go crappie fishing in a week or two. Of course, the weather has to straighten out first.
Yeah.
A lot of, you'll see on the lake close to us, a lot of people go crappie fishing.
In the springtime.
Yeah, you'll see them out there pretty soon. Well, actually, as soon as this weather warms up a little bit more, you'll see them.
Now, what does our preacher fish for? You know,
He fishes for bass mostly,
Okay,
but he does
okay.
fish for crappie. I think he said he was crappie fishing recently, but I think he fishes for bass.
Okay.
And, I believe so.
Yeah.
I used to fish over there for catfish,
Yeah.
a lot.
In the lake.
Yeah. But now that we moved here, we could go fishing real easy. We don't really
Right.
go.
We don't go.
I guess because we've been so busy.
We stay
But
busy.
yeah, he crappie fishes, and then a friend of mine had a pontoon boat that he kind of adapted with a bunch of slots for poles that he could, go run down the creek. It's in the lake, but where the creek bed is.
Yeah.
And he would catch a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
Now
A
he
bunch
goes
of crappie?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
he's moved his fishing over to the river.
Oh, I didn't know that. So
Yeah,
he's
he
been
does.
fishing in the river. So Scott has a friend that he actually had some stuff sank in the reservoir in the lake.
And this is a public reservoir by the Army Corps of Engineers, and he told me, and he's not the only one. A lot of people have done this. They'd get out 2 o'clock in the morning and
Go sink
drag an old boat out there and then sink it, and then you mark where it was, and then that's where they would fish.
Yeah.
But
Because the fish, love to get under something or around something, so they sank the whole boat.
yeah, he
And
would
made them a good fishing
They'd get
spot.
an old boat, just get it enough to drag out there and then sink it.
Talking about YouTube channels that wouldn't get banned.
That's right. Do that in a lake where the Army Corps of Engineers is over it.
And I'm changing the subject a little bit, but the new thing now is to go magnet fishing. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my son, Kyle, told me the other day he'd like to do that, to go magnet fishing and see what you could find, with
You could
magnet fishing.
find a lot of cell phones in there.
You
man.
probably could. It's no telling what you could find in there. You would probably have to get around where a bridge goes over. It's no telling what you could find around the bridges.
Now, at our lake,
waterways.
it gets real low. Sometimes they'll let it get way low.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can walk part of it out there.
Yeah.
Just walk around and look.
That'd be neat to get
You
to
might
go
can
magnet
take a metal
fishing.
detector out there
Yeah,
and look.
and go magnet fishing too.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but it's a lot. I mean, it's the only thing with the lakes here is they're muddy. They're just the bottoms are
sand.
mud.
Yeah.
And it's not the clear water like a lot of lakes up in different areas like up north
yeah.
and stuff.
Where my sister is.
Yeah,
It's
they're
gorgeous.
They're just muddy.
Yeah.
But that one does have some fish in it, and there's one north of us that's got some fish that people were telling stories about. They put stuff in.
Yeah.
So
Sank some boats.
yeah, it's not quite as big as this other one, but yeah, they'll sneak out there and sink a boat. And
That's fun.
or throw old refrigerators Joe said his are muddy too. Now, up in North Carolina, the ones that I saw are not.
No, they're gorgeous.
They're
because
not real muddy.
they have where she lives, it's mountainous.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fresher water. Have a lot of, rivers and stuff there that's a lot fresher than we have here.
And ours is kind of muddy, but if we can ever get the grass growing all around it,
Yeah.
I don't think it will be as much dirt washing down in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I noticed after it rains, it's real muddy down there. But
Yeah.
hopefully we can get the grass growing all the way down to the pond.
Yeah, it won't be so muddy.
Because on the other side, there's just leaves and trees, and it's not a lot of mud.
Okay.
But over here is where it seems like it gets kind of cloudy.
Yeah.
Because you can, and sometimes if it hadn't rained and it's settled down, it's not that bad. But it's never real clear like the ones up north, but it's just a muddy bottom. Joe said the lakes in eastern Kentucky are more clear because the beds of the lakes are stone.
Yeah, I think that's why it's more clear up there where she is too. It's just gorgeous. Now she lives kind of close to Mount Pisgah up there, and
that's a beautiful area.
It is the most beautiful area up there ever, which they love it, and she lives in the area where the hurricane went through year before last, and it had so much devastation and stuff up there and around Mount Pisgah and up in that area. It's taken them quite a while, I think around Asheville to get.
They had a lot of damage up there.
They did.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. Just some of the most horrible stuff, ever. Thankfully it wasn't her, where her house is, they lost electricity and stuff, but they didn't have damage, like these other places did. But they've seen plenty of it and, been, just truly devastated about the things that they live there, and it was devastating to the waterways and the creeks and the rivers up there. It kind of tore some places up there where you had all those rivers and stuff.
It was like we've said, it was their version of Hurricane Katrina. Like we
in the
experienced.
mountains. Yeah,
I know Hurricane Katrina's been a while back. Now it's been 20 years.
Yeah, it has. Because it was.
We remember it like it was yesterday because
it
was horrible.
Kelly was
for
still,
Mississippi and Mississippi and Louisiana.
I guess Kelly was like 2. Yeah, so it has been 20 years.
And it was, the national media, how accurate they are. They acted like it would just hit Louisiana, but it totally wiped out the Gulf Coast of Mississippi in some places.
It did.
And that was really bad.
Yeah, I don't know what got me on that subject, except I just thought about that, the rivers and stuff up there, how pretty they were and places she would take me before, the hurricane
it is beautiful up there. Joe said when he bought this land, he was looking at a place in North Carolina, but couldn't pass up as much acreage that borders my dad's property.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, I do too.
And the land where she lives is expensive.
It is extremely expensive.
Now, I don't know how it is it like that on out?
I believe so.
Because she's south of Asheville, and it's like,
it's extremely expensive. Like a house here that's $300,000 would be like $600,000 there. That's how much of a difference it is.
Well, a house here, $300,000 would be a mansion.
Yeah.
It would be in this area, or not maybe quite a mansion, but it would be.
Yeah.
You're in the upper class if you've got a $300,000 house here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
But up there, it's just a normal house.
Yeah.
But like, you can get your $200,000 get you a real fancy house here.
Yeah, a nicer house. Yeah.
But
up there you
could
got.
You imagine buying 50 acres of land up there.
I know, that would be like outrageous.
I'd love to have one.
And
some
we've said
land,
before,
but not in the city. I don't want
out in the country.
jump.
Yeah, out in the country somewhere.
Yeah. But I would, one of the things we're going to start doing, like she said, we're going to build an off-grid cabin, and we're going to do that on one of our other channels. But I would also like at some point buy some land somewhere more north of here, and
in another state or
just
something.
Off-grid, and build a little cabin there.
Yeah,
just
and go for vacation, or just go to stay there.
Yeah.
In the winter or the summer or whatever. That'd be nice to have. So
he said what's kind of funny. Dad told me if I didn't buy, he would. He said otherwise a developer would buy it and subdivide it. You're right.
That's right.
You're right. And once that's done, you can't really undo it.
Yeah.
And that's like the land here we're on is really, it's sacred to us. It's been in her family for
generations.
A lot of generations.
Yeah.
It's been in your family for what, over 100 years?
Yeah, it's been over 100. Well, yeah, over 100 years.
Yeah. And,
so
it's this land, hopefully it will stay in the family forever.
Yeah,
for
and
a
I
long
know
time.
that if my son has anything to do with it, he'll make sure that it stays in the family. And the adjoining land too. My cousin has the adjoining land, and I'm sure that she would never let it pass out of the family. So.
But talk about subdivision. When we were going to my aunt's house, they're building subdivisions in places I never thought they would build them.
Yeah.
Back on that dirt road, or it's paved now, I guess. But, talk about they're turning subdivisions in, and it's the better school district of the area, because where we live is not really a good school district, but it's good with taxes and regulations. But over there, they're everywhere. They're turning a
place into a subdivision.
Yeah.
It's like, now when I grew up, I went to that school because we could. That was before they did the districting, and it just wasn't like that. Like it was country.
It was country. Now they're popping up all these
everywhere. Even in the little town over there, there was hardly anything. It was just a gas station.
A Western Auto.
Yeah, a Western Auto, and that was it. And a little small restaurant, that was attached to a little country restaurant, and that's what was there, in that little town next to the school, or close to the school. And you just didn't see all of that. There was no subdivisions and stuff. The houses were all spaced out. But I guess it's the times that we're living in, and people, I guess they want to feel like they're in the country, so they move to the country. But then
they turn it into the city.
Right, it turns into the city with all these subdivisions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really country anymore, out there.
Right.
So
Joe said my land better stay in the family or I will hurt my kids. I agree.
I agree.
I don't think I'll have that problem with my son. He said I'm in the process of leasing off 5 acres and building a house for each of them.
Aw.
I want my family close.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, that's something that I joke about this, like, we're in the empty nest, but the birds haven't got off the branch yet.
Yeah, they're still on the tree, on the branch.
And our daughter, I know she'll move off. I don't know that right now country living is not her thing.
Yeah.
I truly believe that she'll saying she'll return here, but I think she's like me. She'll return to the country living.
Yeah.
She doesn't think it now, but I'm sure she'll marry and move off. But my son, he's when we talk about it, and he values the land as much as we do.
Yeah.
And he wants to raise his child here, and I mean we're looking forward to that. And I guess my point was, it is nice to have the family here. I think it may have been your sister saying up there the families would go in and buy lands and just kind of make a I mean, what do you call it? You know, but they would like to not live together in the same house, but do that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Be
Do
close.
their land out and be
honestly,
close together.
honestly, that's, you know, we're talking about things we missed. You know, that's something that is missing now.
Right.
Is the family, because the older people, to me, it seems like they were more family oriented.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
now my friend that lives up north of us, that's their dream. That's their dream, is to buy some land like that and have the whole family on that land so they can all live, you know, together. That is their, you know, she's told me before, that's what they really, really want to do, you know, eventually, is to buy
you think about
some land.
Like I mean, I loved going to my grandparents' house. I loved going out. I would have moved out there in no time.
Yeah,
because back then I loved the country.
Yeah.
And I would have given anything to be out there.
He tells me, you know, I tell him that, you know, we were poor, and he says, no, you wasn't poor because you had the land and you had your grandparents and you had the garden.
Oh, yeah.
And
your
all
grandparents
that.
were right there.
Yeah, they were.
I mean,
they were.
Think about,
because I joke at him and I tell him, you know, we had 3 TV channels, you know, and they didn't, even then they were fuzzy, you know, because back then you know, you put an antenna on the house and sometimes the TV would pick up and sometimes it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he lived in town and he had cable television, even if it was 12 channels.
12 channels.
You know,
but we never watched it though.
I know, you were outside playing.
Yeah, we were outside playing, but like, I mean, you know, we would, and obviously I didn't know her back then, but we actually hunted in this area, and when I would pass by, I thought, gosh, these people have got it made. Look, they live out in the country. They go fishing anytime they want to, especially because I loved to fish, you know, or then I did. And, you know, I thought they got ponds they could go.
Yeah, and we did.
Like right here I don't care, have lived in a shack to live out because, you know, the land and the freedom meant more than me than living in the city.
Yeah, and having a little bit of something. We did
go to the beach and that stuff, but I would have, and I mean, I wouldn't change anything, but like, I mean, y'all are the ones that had it made.
Yeah, we did. I mean
really.
We did. And, but we do joke about that because, you know, I was 15 before I ever went on a true, like, to the beach. You know, I'd never seen the beach except maybe when I was 3 and I don't remember. But that's the first time that I remember ever going to the beach, and they like went on vacation to the beach every summer, and that's something we didn't have. But every summer we were here, we were fishing in the pond and playing in the garden, and I was playing with the chickens and doing stuff like that. And you don't, and speaking of passing down and, you know, being, you know, just grateful for things, you don't know what you should be grateful for when you're growing up. So
no, I don't think any of us really did.
Yeah.
You know,
hopefully when this child is born, we'll be able to pass that down. And, you know, that's something that our son has said many times, that he wants, you know, that child to have the land and to grow up on the land and be appreciative, you know, of the land. You know?
Joe said 3 of 5 of my kids live in other states, but they all love it here. I figure if I give them each a house and property, that would help them enough financially. They could move back here. That would be great. And I doubt that, you know, I really thought our daughter would be more into it when we moved up here.
Yeah.
But, you know, and if it's not her thing, that's fine. That,
and
you know,
she's not, she likes like the little 4-wheelers and stuff like that sometimes, but not into it as much as what we thought she would be.
Yeah, because I do think if we had horses and stuff, she would be more into those. Because she does know how to ride horses. I forgot that was there. You know, she does. She actually used to go to a camp and ride race horses. So she does know how to do that. But
that's what she would love if we had some land with some horses or something on it. She would love that.
Now, I do think when she moves off, gets married, lives in the city, it's gonna be so loud that she ain't gonna like it like she thinks she does.
Yeah.
But you know, and whatever
hopefully-
she wants to do is fine. But I would, you know, and that's kind of why I built a shop, and I'm still finishing it, but I'm letting her live in the shop.
Yeah. So she won't have to.
To kind of keep her here and to kind of help her get started financially.
Yeah.
You know, I think there was some comments, oh, you do too much for them. But, you know, probably so. But, you know, if they...
Well, it's the things that we didn't have. And like Joe says, if you can give your children whatever, I mean, that's your legacy. You know, your children are. And whatever you can help them with or give them that you didn't have, like, you know, I know I had the land and stuff, but I didn't have, like, financially a whole lot. And even when we were young and got married, financially, you know, we would have probably given anything to be able to have a house to live in that we didn't have to pay for, you know, really. And so to help her get started in life, you know, that's what we've done, you know, so
and
she
it's helped her save up money.
Yeah, she'll be able to save money and, you know, get her a house or whatever, you know, and, you know, when she does decide that she wants to move off somewhere. So, you know, that's just what we do for our kids. You know, the land and everything. What?
All right, Joe said he's got a story about horses too. A friend of mine told me these horses were gun trained. All right. He was riding during deer season, saw a deer, took a shot. Long story short, the friend lied to me. So,
did the horse throw you?
I'm assuming it was not a good turnout.
That's funny.
So yeah. And you used to ride horses, didn't
I did.
you?
My friend, we used to, I mean, she didn't have horses, but we went to a neighbor's or somebody that she knew, and we rode some horses. And I hadn't rode a lot.
Yeah.
And when I was young, we went over there to ride the horses. I mean, I don't know, 14 maybe. Went over there to ride the horses, and me and her went off on a trail, and the horse spooked, and it went running with me on it. I don't know if I've ever told you that story, but it went running with me on it, and I couldn't make it stop. Like, it scared me to death.
So did you not ride one after that?
I don't think I did. It was on a trail, and it had like it was kind of steep on the side.
Yeah.
And the horse was running with me on there, and it did scare me pretty bad, but I finally got it to stop without it throwing me. And it was, I was okay, but it did scare me, you know, a good bit.
I rode at one of the church camps several times. I'd ride horses and kind of learn some there, but I would, if we had time to take care of them and had the facilities for them, I'd like horses.
I would love to have horses,
but,
but they are a lot of maintenance, you know, to take care of. A horse is, you know. Somebody said get donkeys, and I don't think the donkeys are quite as much maintenance as the horses are. So maybe we could get a donkey.
But my grandmother had donkeys.
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, I would like for our daughter to stay up here, but you know, realistically, I don't think she will. You know,
and that's okay.
I can't blame her. You know, you know, I want her happy, and that's, you know, you know, because she actually said that our son could have all the land.
Yeah, and
but, you know,
she said she would just want a place to come back to if, you know, if she ever needed it.
And I'm wondering, is she old enough to make that decision? You know?
She is. She's 23. So.
But,
she just turned 23.
And hopefully by that time we may have a little more land. I want to do like Joe is and have some that, you know.
Well, we would love to acquire this land behind us.
Yeah.
If we could one day, just to expand it, because it's beautiful, you know, back there in the back. Just a place back there that's got like soapstone on the creek, and we would love to have that part of the creek.
It's an old wagon crossing.
Yeah.
And we'll have to, But
We
it's
probably
right
have
on the
some-
edge of our property,
Yeah.
but it's a soapstone old wagon crossing from
Yeah.
way back. And, you know, the loggers have kind of tore it up and stuff, but it's still, and it's a little, I wouldn't call it a waterfall, but, you know, it's a 4-foot little, you know, thing down soapstone. It's
Yeah.
a pretty, for Mississippi, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
It's nothing compared to North Carolina, but for Mississippi, it's okay.
Yeah, I agree. If she's 23, she doesn't really know what she likes yet. And
And we didn't. When we were
that's
23.
right. And
we
I'm
didn't.
not sure I really knew till the last, I mean, you know, we learned a lot through the years, but like, I would say the last 10 years is when you kind of get a little different outlook
Yeah,
on
maybe
life.
when you get about 40, you get
Yeah.
you get a little different outlook on
Yeah,
life.
Joe said about 30,
Okay.
you know, and I'd say, yeah, I mean, definitely. And, you know, I know my outlook on life has changed in the last several years. And since we moved up here, it has totally changed.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. And I, you know, it's, you know, changed from career type thing to,
Wanting to be
Yeah.
here on the homestead and quit our jobs and just
Yeah.
live here. And I know, Joe, I know you enjoy that, you know, your life that you're living and retirement and all, and being able to live on your land with, you know,
Yeah.
and living off the land. So, you know, that's where we want to be.
and I know that's a goal for a lot of people, you know,
Yeah.
to do that. And I see a lot of young people doing it, and, you know, a lot of older people trying to retire much earlier. And, you know, and, you know, that's like we're programmed in America to retire at a certain age. I think, you know, I think it's different for every person.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, and hope, and, you know, that's kind of what the homesteading thing is about, to kind of get out of the system as much as possible.
Right. Our fire's doing pretty good now.
It is doing good.
Yeah, yeah. I
So-
need to go get my marshmallows.
You
I
may
know
have
you
diesel
joke at me
fuel
about
in
my.
'em.
Well, probably not by now. It's
Yeah.
probably died down by now. Yeah, I need a marshmallow on there.
Or pour some of that stuff on it, those desserts that light up. You know that in the fancy restaurants they bring. What is that stuff?
I don't know. They're flan.
Isn't it a
It's called
dessert?
flan. And you catch it on fire. I don't know.
Is it a dessert?
It's a dessert, and
Okay.
you like catch it on fire. But like, you know, I like my marshmallows on fire, and I just blow it out, and they're good to me. So
Yeah, I do think it's burnt out because it's down to it would be good cooking right now. So,
it would.
yeah.
I need something to cook on there. I don't even have a hot dog. Now we are eating some hot dogs tomorrow night, but you know, I don't think my daughter-in-law would appreciate it if I went up there and stole the hot dogs.
Yeah, we don't need hot dogs.
No, we don't. But it is good on a fire.
Yeah, no, they are good. I like to get them kind of crispy.
Yeah, I like the sausage dogs on the
Yeah.
fire. That's what I like.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the fire's dying down. I'm dying down.
Yeah,
so-
and my chickens have decided they wanted to roost outside, and it's too cold. The Polish ones. So I've got to go over there and get them and put them in there, and I'm gonna lock them up tonight because it is cooler. The silkies.
And
Yeah.
by the way, speaking of being cool, we've got our, you know, we're growing we've transplanted the tomatoes, and been putting them getting a little more sun out each day, and then, you know, they have been, like, since they've been in the greenhouse a little more, they've grown. Now we have moved them to the shop, or the little shed,
Yeah.
because it's insulated and it's a little warmer in there. I'm gonna go turn the heat on in there tonight, but to keep them a little warm.
Yeah, you got to go do that too.
But
Our chickens
the tomatoes are doing really good.
They're distracting me, but our chickens are moving around in there, and the camera that's in there, the light comes on. So I can see them in there. They're like Ed's looking out the door, and the Polish ones are sitting on the little roost right there by the door.
Yeah.
They're like moving around, but
Do they all get along good now?
they do. Now, Elvis and Ed, they fight sometimes. You know, when Elvis got sick like he did, and I had
Yeah.
to put him I took him out for a few days. They had a little fight, but I think pretty much they do pretty good. But
okay.
We've got to name that other little chicken that we put in there, the Belgium. I've got to give her a name and get her picture made so she can go up on our live stream for them.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can get that done soon. But she is the sweetest little thing. Like, she'll let me pick her up and she'll talk to me and stuff, and just really like her a lot.
So she doesn't mind you picking her up?
No, she don't mind. She escaped today, and I picked her up, and she was just she was fine. Anyway, so we need to go do that. I need to put them up and lock them up and check on the babies that are out there. But now they've got their brooder heater, so they've got a heater in there. They'll do good tonight.
Okay.
I may have to bring them in when it freezes.
Yeah.
It's supposed to freeze again next week. May have to bring them in that night, but other than that, I think they'll do fine with their brooder heater. They kind of get into there and snuggle up and get warm. I've got it on, I think it gets up to 100, the heater.
Okay, so they are, even if it's cold, they'll
they'll be fine. And the door's shut and all, so they'll be fine in there. So.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Joe, good to talk to you, and everybody else watching, thanks for watching, and thank you all that's watching on the replay. We hope to see, we'll be back in the chicken coop Saturday morning, and also we'll be probably in the greenhouse, or maybe even back here Sunday morning. So good to talk to everybody. Hope y'all have
Thank you, Joe, for chatting with us.
Thank you, Joe, for chatting with us.
We always enjoy your stories, and
we learn a lot too.
We learn a lot from you, and we enjoy that. So thank you for chatting with us.
All right. So I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks again, and we'll see you hopefully Saturday morning.